Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Train of Thought. My name is Trey, and this is where I share my thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets. So, game number 1 of the regular season is in the books. Jets fell 6-4 to the Rangers, and kind of a lot to talk about after the first game. It was a very entertaining game. I got home from work in time to see the second and third period, and they were very entertaining. A lot of action, a lot of back and forth. Obviously, since the Jets lost, there are things that they can do better and clean up. But there was a strong showing by a lot of guys. Blake Wheeler was awesome, just bringing that intensity and almost that will to twice tie the game up right after the Rangers scored. He scored one goal 30 seconds after the Rangers scored, and then one 9 seconds later. So pretty much face off, he got the puck, skated in, and scored. So that was awesome. Nikolai Ehlers was probably one of the best guys on the ice with 3 assists on the first 3 goals. Was showing off that real class speed that he has. And so he really stood out in a good way. Neil Pionk looked good in his debut for the Jets against his old team. So those were some positives, some things to clean up. Connor Hellebuck, just listened to his post-game comments, and he kind of had to walk a fine line and almost go back and correct some of the stuff that he said or backtrack a little bit. But at first he was kind of like, you know what, I know I gave up 5 goals, but I liked a lot of the things that I did. And then he ended up kind of going back and saying, well, 5 goals is unacceptable. I'm not saying that I feel content with what I did, because obviously I didn't do good enough. And that's going to be a big talking point. I know it's only game 1. It just seems like how sports go. If you got someone that looks good, that's the backup. And you know what? Laurent Brossoit is going tomorrow night against the Devils. If he goes in there and gives up 2 goals or less, that there's going to be some legitimate talk growing in Winnipeg, even after 2 games, about the goaltending. And that's what happened 2 years ago. The Jets signed Steve Mason on this free agent contract, and he did not look good. And then he got hurt, and then Connor Hellebuck took the job and ran with it, and had an unbelievable season. And now, well, I mean, I would love to see that, in the sense that not like, oh yeah, man, I hope Hellebuck loses his job, but I would love to see that in the sense of competition and them trying to get better and making the team better. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out, especially tomorrow night. And some other things with that, that there was some holes in the defense. Obviously, giving up that many goals and such, there's some work that needs to be done. But it's game 1, and going back to 2 years ago, and I don't want to compare this team to 2 years ago, but you can look at that team as a ray of hope. I think they gave up like 13 or 14 goals the first 2 games of the season and lost bad. I think the first game they lost like 7-2. And they ended up having an incredible season. So the first game of the year doesn't really, it doesn't define your season, obviously. So hats off to the Rangers for getting the job done. Another thing that I liked that the Jets did was they had like over 70 shot attempts and 47 shots on goal. They only had 45 plus shots twice last year. So that's awesome that they were able to just throw the puck at the net as much as they did, and hopefully they can build off of that. So that's my my take on it. It'll be curious to see how tomorrow night goes. One note about that, it's kind of nice with these 6 o'clock games. I can after the game kind of soak up some of the commentary and such, but before I post to try and get a little bit better handle of what just happened. So that's like, did somebody else see it the way that I saw it, so to speak? But tomorrow night I won't be available to even watch the game until after the game is over. So I might watch the video watch the game from the start, starting at about 9 o'clock. So then I won't be posting until late. So keep an eye out for that. But I want to know your thoughts. And one thing that I want to do is if you leave a comment, I will give you a shout out. So please tell me your thoughts on that. I know there's a lot of other action in the NHL. Comment on that. If you want to talk about other Central Division games or some of the other storylines from the league, I think that would be fun to chat about that. So please comment, please like, please subscribe, and I will talk to you guys again soon.